society in this campaign?
I think it's unlikely that we'll hear the phrase, but what we will see...
Why is that? Why is that?
Because I think that it was a phrase which, before the last election, it wasn't clear in many people's minds. Now, what we will point to are those things which encapsulate the big society.
Well, I'm joined now by the Cabinet Minister, Eric Pickles. We'll talk about the big society in a moment. Let's talk money to start with. Who is going to pay for this?
You've got to understand why we're doing this. This is about ensuring that we're building a better society on top of economic stability. And this will apply to firms with employees of greater number than 250. And what we're expecting them to do is to work something out together, be all part of the process of developing the workforce, and make for a better workforce. And we expect this to be a big success.
And who is going to pay for this?
The people who will be paying for it will be just like annual leave. It's going to be no different from that. We're not imposing it on small businesses, which I think would have been difficult, and I think your question about who pays would have been a more relevant one. But we're talking about big firms, and this is part of the personal development of people inside those big firms. A lot of firms already do this, and all credit to them, but this is just a way of putting on a proper footing in the same way that we put annual leave on a proper footing.
So in the private sector, it'll be the companies who pay. In the public sector, if you are a head teacher and some of your teachers want to take advantage of this, then will you be compensated by the government for taking on supply teachers to cover for them?
Well, that assumes that there is going to be a cost of having to do that, and there are lots of ways in which large corporations and public corporations can save money other than automatically replacing. And we'd expect firms to work out to ensure that people did the volunteering at a time that wasn't inconvenient or very costly to the firm, in the same way that people work out their annual leave.
Okay, and how will you decide whether what someone is choosing to do should qualify as genuine voluntary work? Will you have a list of organisations which people can go and work for? How will that work?
What we'd expect is that the normal kind of relationship that exists between employers and employees, and they would determine themselves what was worthwhile. Obviously, it wouldn't be to work for a political party or to work for a pollster, but it would be it'd be working for charity. It would be doing work with schools. It would be doing work with vulnerable groups.
But what about the example? Say you've got some elderly neighbours who aren't part of any charity or organisation. Would you be able to go and help them out for a few days?
I can't see on the face of it any reason why not, but we would expect somebody who was doing that kind of thing to fit in, say, with social services or with their health, to make sure that what we're doing for that elderly couple enhances rather than works against them.
But the danger is then you just get people taking the mickey. You say, oh, I'm going to help out so-and-so down the road, and you'd have to somehow have some system to police this.
We do know that people already do this. We're not going to be overburdensome. It is going to be on trust, but it'll be a relationship not between the state and the individual. It'll be a relationship between the employer and the employee.
Okay, Eric Pickles, thanks so much for your time. Well, that's the one of the big announcements we're getting from the Conservatives today. The other, let me just flag up for you, is this suggestion they're also planning to freeze rail fares in real terms for the duration of the next Parliament. So a couple of sort of retail offers, if you like, from the Conservative Party today.
Norman, thank you very much indeed. We'll talk Labour and crime shortly as well. In a moment, I'll discuss the more